now, Talk Real Estate with Sharon McNamara, sponsored by Boston Connect Real Estate Services.
Hi, I'm your host, Sharon McNamara, and you are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. Let me share a little bit about my background before we get started. I am the broker-owner of Boston Connect Real Estate, a boutique firm that is home to over 30 real estate sales and marketing agents who service home buyers and home sellers throughout Boston, the South Shore, the South Coast, and Cape Cod. Our firm takes pride in assisting our clients in the next chapter of their lives by taking a holistic approach to their real estate endeavors. We believe that every move should be a moving experience. Every week, my co-host Melissa Wallace and I will provide you with my team's unique marketing approach to selling homes and share with you our expertise in navigating the home buying process. We value the experience of our agents at Boston Connect Real Estate so much that not only will you hear my perspective on real estate topics, occasionally you will hear the expert thoughts and opinions of our experienced agents at Boston Connect Real Estate. Be a part of our roundtable. If you have any questions during the show, please call 781-837-4900. We'd love to talk real estate. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you like to listen to podcasts at Talk Real Estate Roundtable. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with me at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Now, sit back, relax, take good notes, and let's talk real estate.
And good morning to all our South Shore neighbors and beyond. My name is Melissa Wallace, and you are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. I am joined live and in studio by the one and only Kristen Howlett.
Hello, South Shore neighbors.
Hello. I say South Shore neighbors and beyond now.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it podcast or podcasts?
I think podcast.
So wherever you listen to your podcast? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. And now I get it.
I feel like I've heard people refer to podcast as like
more than one?
Like a podcast. Like, do you want to do podcast?
Do you want to do a podcast? It's a podcast.
I don't know. I've heard people in the podcasting world who refer to it as, do you podcast?
Oh, do you podcast?
Or like it's more of a verb and a noun? I don't know. It's a good question.
We live on air. We podcast, I guess. Yeah, I don't.
How did you get into podcast?
That would be Sharon McNamara. Which Sharon will be back maybe in a couple weeks. But yeah, no, it's been a great summer, and I've had some really great agents on with me. I just had Tracy Grady, who's a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate, with her husband Jim. They make up the Grady team twice in a row, 2 weeks in a row.
I missed last week. Sometimes I like to listen.
I can't believe you missed last week when I talked about you. Mm-hmm. I gave you a shout out, and then here you are, and we're talking about mobile homes. So last week I had Tracy on, and we briefly talked about mobile homes. I'll give you a second to reintroduce yourself in a minute, but we briefly talked about mobile homes in our conversation because she was putting in an offer on her first ever mobble home, and I was surprised by that. And I said, "Oh my gosh, you have to talk to Kristen Howlett. She's like a pro." Mm-hmm. And of course, you didn't listen to it, so go to your podcast app and listen to it, or you can go to talkrealestateroundtable.com.
Well, it's a good thing I'm on today's podcast.
Yeah. Well, right now we're just live on air. We'll make it a podcast afterwards.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, so you've been on the show many times, but why don't you reintroduce yourselves to all of our listeners?
My name is Kristen Howlett. I am a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate. I service the South Shore and beyond.
And beyond.
Yeah, piggybacking on what Mel said in the beginning. I help sellers and buyers and everything in between. That's about it today.
Yeah. Well, you live in Bridgewater.
I live in Bridgewater.
I'll do your intro
soon to
for
be
you.
by myself.
I know you're going to be an empty nester.
Empty nester starting in September. And with my golden doodle, who looks more like a greyhound right now because she just got shaved. And that's it.
She didn't look embarrassed in her picture this time.
Oh, she hates it. She went after a deer this morning at like 5:30 this morning, barking like crazy. Jake, we had
whatever. We take the first 10 minutes to talk about whatever.
We had a friend who left his bobcat in the backyard. last summer.
The animal?
No, like a machine. And it was Jake's dream to have a bobcat at his disposal. So he was out in that so he cleared out a little like cul-de-sac in our backyard that all he did was like put a clear path from the woods and the forest into our backyard for all the wildlife. So this morning you could see Honey was going crazy, barking, and there was the biggest deer I've ever seen, just like sitting there with the light shining and like just standing there like, what are you
looking
barking
majestic
at? Yeah.
What a loser.
Like, get in the house, you
Loser.
skinny greyhound.
Greyhound.
Yeah, so she was flipping out.
Oh.
Anyways, I don't know how we got on that subject.
Well, I told you when I saw you this morning coming in, I have a mouse. Got a mouse in the house, which is normal. And your first question was it cool last night? And yes, and it's going to be cool next week, I think, too. But yeah, I came home and Ethan said, we have a problem. I go, oh gosh, what?
Yeah.
And he said that he went downstairs to get the laundry and he opened the door and something went scurrying away. And
my other statement was, you have 2 cats.
I know. Well, when I got home, they were not hunting. They were like, what's going on? Like, good to see you. Like, I'm sure you had a great time at work. And then I went to go change in our other bedroom and Zoe was down, her tail's going crazy. Her nose is right up against the wall. Yep. So she was hunting and, maybe she'll find it, but
we have a pest control that does like once a month.
Yeah.
And they come and then we never see them, but they just put
mouse traps.
Yeah. So they must have saw something in our garage.
I mean, it's normal. I mean, you think, oh my gosh, you have a mouse and it's the end of the world. But in reality, they're trying to get warm too. And, and it's just a part of life. And, between that and we had a fox in the front yard and I'm like, I've had enough with this wildlife. Yeah,
the wildlife. It's no fun.
We want the turkeys back though. That's fun when we see the turkeys.
Oh, I don't love the turkey. The turkeys can be super aggressive.
Well, they are. They see their Ethan has a black car and they see their reflection in his car and they peck at his car. So he does not like that, but that's only if they go near.
He needs to get a car cover.
I know.
Seriously.
Or a different color car.
Yeah.
Or isn't there something you can put in your yard to deflect them?
Well,
something
the thing is that they've always
put out some cranberry sauce. Scare them away.
Really?
No, just kidding. No, I don't.
Oh my
know.
gosh,
No,
you're so funny. I was like, oh really? No. I bumped into the guy across the street, and he said that they've been doing this for years. They travel in a pack. They go from Bob's house to my house to Jim's house to all. Like they
They're
migrate.
like a little turkey gang.
Oh yeah, they're a turkey gang, and I have a lot of acreage too.
Yeah.
So they like to go and hang out, and they do their thing. But we haven't seen them in a while, so I'm like, I wonder if when it starts to get cooler, they'll come back and start their migration again.
Well, I'm helping a sweet family right now purchase a manufactured home, which is the same idea.
Yeah.
In Bridgewater, and in the backyard of the house behind them was a big turkey gang.
Oh, yeah.
There were about 8 of them.
Yeah, they can be tough. They go on my back deck and they sit on the railing and the cats go crazy.
They're kind of jerky, the turkeys.
Yeah.
Turkey.
Turkey jerky.
Yeah, they're kind of jerks.
Yeah. Well, I like them. Yeah, they're jerks, but I like them. They're funny. And they're huge.
Huge. And they fly.
Huge.
Have you seen them fly yet?
Oh, yes. They fly up. They fly up to my deck on the second floor.
Oh.
I know. The camera catches them, and then we think it's funny, and then we're like, okay, now it's time to leave. Okay, so last week, like I said, I was, talking with Tracy on the show, and she was saying how busy of a week that she was having, and so we got into it, and she said, well, I wrote my first offer on a mobile home. My first reaction was, oh my gosh, you should have called Kristen or call Kristen at any point during your transaction because I'm sure she can help you.
Because there are some different nuances. It's pretty much the same. I've only sold one mobile home, but I've sold a lot of manufactured homes, which falls under the same category.
Yeah. So what is the difference then if it's a mobile home or a manufactured home?
So I think that whole style, you can have a single or a double wide, but most of the So the mobile home that I sold was in a mobile home park. It was a single woman who was coming from one in like New Hampshire. And she just wanted a nice, less expensive, safe place to live. That's really, she didn't
Don't
want
we
for
all?
much. And she loved this community. It's actually in Rainham. And she's super happy. Her place was brand new. So the difference between, we just said, I think the mobile in the word mobile home, there is a mobile
Can
home
be
that you can hook
deceiving.
up to the back of your truck
Yeah.
and bring with you. And like, it can be transported and you can camp and like a camper type thing. But, I don't think it's that easy to make a mobile home mobile. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot into it.
And through some of my research, it's expensive.
Expensive. So typically a mobile home or a manufactured home will be on, you own the structure, but you don't own the land. So you'll do some sort of a rent land lease every month. But we'll get into that.
Yeah. Well, let's sort of talk about the difference between mobile home parks and privately owned land. So you said that a mobile home park is the land is owned by a park owner or management company, and then the resident pays a monthly lot rent.
And we do see that a lot. I'm thinking, I know of one in Taunton right off the top of my head. There's one in Rainham. There's one in Norwell. I know that they're there. I think it's a lot more predominant. Like I know in Florida, there's a ton of them. I know that they just got, when they have the storms and all that,
Yeah.
the insurance. So that is another thing too we can touch
Yeah.
upon, is the insurance has gone up for
I
these.
remember, so when my Nana and Papa lived in Florida, they lived in a 55 plus community, which we'll talk about that as well. And it was considered manufactured homes, but they were on slabs.
Yeah. That's how most of them are up here.
Yeah, so they were on slabs, and then they had the perfect location because it was right next to a cow field. So like all the cows would come up to the fence, and like we could pet them and stuff, and then they would go back to the other side of the, I don't know, was it a pasture or something? I don't know, whatever, and do their business over there. So it never smelled like cow, but it was like the perfect location in that park, I guess, for them, but. Something that they loved about it is, they had a swimming pool or more than one. They had a community center in there, and there was so much to do. And I think with these manufactured homes or mobile home parks, them being 55 plus, it gives you another sort of lifestyle that you can live.
Yeah, and listen, ease of, you don't have to take on those responsibilities of, they're much more manageable. They're a little bit smaller. You don't have to worry about snow plowing and lands. Well, some of them you do, some don't. There's all different ones. There's co-ops where you have to pay like a big chunk to the co-op, and then it's resident run. It's funny. My mom is in a 55 plus in Rainham, and she's also on the board for manufactured homes in Massachusetts.
Wow.
So she's like my go-to. I'll always
Should've
call
had her on the show,
I
too.
know, right? She is in Pine Hill in Rainham, and she's always helping people in there, but she's very much an advocate for like the residents there and other smaller parks. And I know they've helped other parks that were resident run get into that next level of like a professional management company. I think it was probably more predominant years ago, and now probably the cost. I think the biggest thing too is insurance has gone up on single families and everywhere in between. But yeah, the 50, it's mostly there are the mobile home communities that are not age restricted. But like I said, I only sold one of those, but my demographic, my niche for that group is 55 plus manufactured homes. So they come in like two pieces. They'll build them. Kind of like, what is that called again? When you do not, it'll come to me.
Yeah.
My 54-year-old brain, sometimes it comes. It's you buy the kit, and then you put the house together.
Oh, yeah. It's at the tip
It'll
of
come
my
to
tongue.
us.
Yeah, it'll come to us. But or if you know it. give us a call.
Yep. But same idea like that you said, it'll be a concrete slab.
Yeah.
All of your heating and your piping will be underneath with some heat tape to protect it from the elements. But the house, a lot of them, I just toured one last week. We put an offer in, it got accepted. It doesn't give you that feel. It felt like a single family ranch.
Well, also, I know you said that they can be smaller, but there's some that are like 3 bedrooms.
Oh my gosh. My mom's is 3 bedrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to me because a 3-bedroom manufactured home could potentially be in an age restricted community where it's like, okay, well, if it's just like 2 people, do they really need the 3rd bedroom? But if you're going from that, 4-bedroom big colonial and you're not totally ready to give up the space, but you're ready to transition to simpler living and not having to take care of
what
certain
it's nice,
things.
Mel, they can do, let's face it, a lot of them sleep in separate bedrooms because maybe somebody snores.
That would be me.
So a lot of they may have just a guest room, or some do 2 in 1 bedroom, a guest room, and then an office, like a place to put their computer. And, a lot of them still work. The one that we just toured, actually, the 2nd bedroom, they had set up as a, it's beautiful. They have it set up as a little den with 2 recliners in there and
cute.
a TV. It's so cute. So cute. So manufactured, mobile, I feel like they can kind of go hand in hand. It's interchangeable. The big difference is you are not going to get traditional financing because it's not considered real property. It's personal property. So it's kind of like buying a car. You'll get, typically, if you're financing it, it'll be a chattel loan. Years ago, again, when we had all those low interest rates, their rates were significantly higher. But now I feel like they're kind of neck and neck with what we're looking at. So you finance it. You go, there's 2 that I've worked with is Sterling, Sean Rogers at Sterling Associates. He's awesome. And he knows he has great relationships with a lot of the community. So he knows each one is different, like what they expect, what they do. He makes
that must make it so much easier. So much
easier. Because they have their own, they've been doing it for a long time. And a lot of these communities have been doing it for a long time. We're so used to that traditional put an offer in, loop in the attorney, you get a purchase and sale, you have a closing. A lot of these mobile manufactured 55 plus communities, they have their own way of doing things. So, yeah.
And we'll get into that about, park approval and everything like that. But just going back to the mobile home park. So the homeowner owns the mobile home, but not the land. Some advantages could possibly be a lower purchase price, community amenities. Lot rent often covers water, sewer, trash. So whenever you're touring, a mobile home park or a manufactured home, see what that fee also includes. It's not just the land underneath the manufactured home that you own, but it could be including something else, even the snow removal if possible.
Right.
Some considerations could be, you must follow the park rules. Rent can increase over time. Sale often requires park approval and risk of park being sold or closed.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's a big one. That's a big one. When they sell, so the one in Rainham had been owned, I think, by the same company for a long time, and then it was bought out. But they're doing a lot of enhancements to it, which is actually a good thing.
Great.
So I think maybe the fees will go up a little bit, but they're swapping out a lot of the older homes for some newer homes, which is really nice. And your value goes up too. I mean, it's just like a traditional single family. I mean, the market dictates if there's, if the value goes up, the list price goes up.
Yeah.
So
the manufactured homes in Middleborough, what's that community called again?
Oak Point.
Oak Point, yeah. We had, they're retired now, but we had a married couple here at Boston Connect Real Estate that lived in Oak Point, and they were like the billboard. They loved it.
Yeah. And they bought into that whole idea of, you said it earlier, a lot of people, if they're going from a bigger house and they want to downsize to a manufactured mobile home, they also maybe want that sense of community, you know, especially if it's a single person. You can have a neighbor next door that keeps their eye on you or maybe watches your pets or waters your plants, but like you still have that single structure and your privacy, you know, which is nice.
I would love to see Ethan's parents in somewhere like Oak Point where there's so much to do and there's like such a sense of community.
Yeah.
Or like a community like that where, you know, Ethan's mother loves to craft and loves to make cards, and there's so many people who love to do that as well. So to be able to go to a center, a community center in where you live and be able to do that with other like-minded people, I think that would be great. But, you know, I think that they're not ready to give up sort of the taking care of and maintenance part of it, but
I do.
You can find a community where you can still do those things. You can still be responsible for, you know, your own, and I'm putting in quotes, your own yard, and
you can still do
your own landscaping.
And you have some freedom to be able to do what you want. But you know, on the weekends when I do the open house at Cochesset Estates in West Bridgewater, we get a lot of people who love that single family because we have 2 models over there that are single family, first floor primary. That's what they're looking for. They're looking to downsize. But the first thing I do always say to people, especially because I'm 54, so next year I could move into a 55 plus, is you have to take into consideration, and I have sellers and buyers, they're going to sell and they're going to buy. We sat at their house in Easton and we talked about this. I said, if you guys have anyone in your family that like where your kids are, and at the time they were like, oh no, they're established, they both moved out, so we're fine. I said, you have to be careful because a lot of them have rules that somebody can't live with you. So like where my mom is, we had lost power, we were there, and then once I sold a couple in there, I said to my mom, if something ever happened, like me and the kids couldn't move in with you because we're not 55. So you have to be careful if there's anyone that could be dependent on you. The reason why I say that is there was a family, grandparents, who their daughter was having some troubles, and they had a granddaughter who sometimes had to come and stay with them. Well, she can stay for a short period of time, but she can't really live there. So it wasn't a great option for them because they couldn't risk that, you know, her not being able to live there and them potentially breaking the rules.
I remember a few years ago, Sharon and Mary were selling a manufactured home, and I had done a couple open houses for them. I forget what town it was in. Maybe Rockland? Is there one in Rockland?
That's where it was. It was
I forget the name of it, but
again, it'll come to
it is
Leisure Woods.
Yes, it is age restricted. Somebody who was interested and ultimately ended up buying it took care of their adult child and got approval because it was a medical need.
And there are ways around it. And there are, like, I'm doing a lot of research now for my clients in Easton because ironically we sat down and had that conversation, and then their son had to move in.
To come home.
So it's good, but at the same time we're, you know, now researching, and there are certain communities, like there's one in Norton and there's one in Easton that somebody can live with you. Like somebody has to be 55.
Only one person needs to be 55.
Only one person needs to be 55, but also you can have somebody who comes and lives with you. I guess the idea is they're all different.
Yeah, they are all different because I remember one, and I don't remember which community it was, but a question that came up was, you know, a couple moving in, one is over 55, one is not. What happens if the one that is over 55 passes away? Can that under 55 person still stay there? And sometimes it's a no.
Well, that's happening in my mom's community too. Yep. So you're right. You have to know all these things.
You have to know these rules.
So that's why, like we were saying earlier, that these communities, they like to do things their own way, and they like to handle it in-house, and they don't love, sometimes they feel like the attorneys kind of complicate things, but really it's situations like that. Like when you go over a contract, the attorney will pick up on those things and be able to translate that to the buyer and say, listen, this is what this means. You guys are going into this, but what if something happened?
Yeah.
And, I had one once too where they were both over 55, but one had some memory issues. So the question was, what if something happens to the one without the memory issues? And then that person, it can get complicated.
Well, it's the same thing with, purchasing a single family home or a condo. I purchased my home as a single person. Now I'm engaged. My name is on everything. So we have to have a conversation, moving forward. If something were to happen to me before we got married, what would that look like with my house? Well, once we do get married, if something were to happen to me and his name wasn't on anything, what happens then? So there's considerations whether you're buying a mobile home or a manufactured home or single family home, a condo, anything, where if there's another person involved, you have to have those conversations of, okay, how do we move forward in the most smart way that protects us both?
Right. You're right. You're so smart.
I'm so smart. Okay, so privately owned land, so owner holds both the home and the land it sits on. Some advantages are more control over property, no park rules, and no monthly lot fee. Considerations for that would be higher upfront costs, full responsibility for utilities, road maintenance, and zoning compliance. A little bit about 55 plus age restricted communities. So they're designed for active adults. At least one resident must meet the minimum age requirement. That's different in every park though. Sometimes it's both. But if it's a single person, then yes, that person has to be over 55. Often have stricter rules about residency, so no full-time younger occupants, visitor limits for grandchildren. You talked about that. May include premium amenities, so clubhouses, fitness centers, social programs.
I have a really funny story. So I was doing an open house at one of my 55 plus. This was a couple of years ago, and they're typically super quiet.
Yeah.
Like really nice.
Peaceful. Every open house I've done in a community like that, it's just been very peaceful.
And like people are walking. The other thing too is some of them don't allow pets, which I do think is crazy because I feel like that demographic too, they have their companions and they want to be able to.
Whether it's a small dog
and guess
or a
what?
cat.
My mom and Donnie just adopted the cutest dog. I'm dog sitting him next week. He's my stepbrother.
Did I know about this?
No, they just adopted him a couple weeks ago. But so they get up and walk like that. Sammy, they're getting up, they're walking him. He's a companion, right? So it's super quiet. It's a beautiful Sunday. And right before I'm about to close up, this guy comes in his like fast like Trans Am car, and he's blasting his radio. It was like that from Ferris Bueller.
From like the 80s.
You know the song I'm talking about.
Did he get out of the car? Oh my God. Did he get out of the car in like a windbreaker?
Oh, he pulls out. He is so like fast.
Suave.
And ready. So he comes in. He's like, oh, this is great. This is great. I'm going to buy this. I said, okay, it's, 55 plus. He said, well, I'm 55, but my girlfriend, that's it. This is the music he was playing.
What was it? Red?
I don't remember the color of the car.
Okay,
it was a sight to see.
I would have loved to be there.
And then it goes on, and he's like talking. He's going into all the rooms, and this one was particularly beautiful.
Was it hard for you not to laugh?
Oh, but it gets better.
Oh gosh.
So I'm like talking about the whole 55 plus spiel, and he says, "Well, my girlfriend, my fiance, is going to move in with me." And she's 30. Oh, well, not sure that's going to fly over here. He goes, what do you mean? And if we decide to have children, that room would be perfect for a nursery. I'm like, oh, no, that doesn't work here. He said, what are they going to do? Kick me out?
I said, yeah.
I think they might. I'm like, that's the whole point of it. The 55 plus quiet people don't want to hear the baby crying.
Not the midlife crisis coming in with the,
Oh, it was so funny.
My gosh.
But, yep, that was exactly the music.
Wow. Tim always pulling out the good stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
that's so funny.
Say,
I wish I was there.
He did not.
He did not purchase it. I wonder where he is now.
I don't know.
I wonder what community he landed in.
Not sure.
Oh
Not
my
sure.
gosh. So where were we? 55 plus. So buyers should review community rules carefully, especially regarding age compliance, pets, and exterior changes. There are some 55 plus communities or manufactured home communities, anything like that, that don't allow animals, which again, we're like, what?
Yeah.
Or they have restrictions on it. So you can only have one, or it has this breed restriction, which I think is discrimination, but whatever.
Me too.
Homes can be in either mobile park homes or on privately owned land, but the age restriction is always enforced by the community HOA. Do we want to talk about personal property versus real property in Massachusetts? Or
I mean, sure.
So personal property, where's my little?
So purchasing a manufactured mobile home is pretty much like buying a car.
Yeah.
So you will not have a deed. You'll have a bill of sale. For a manufactured home or mobile home, you'll get a certificate of origin, which is like a title. It tells you everything. It'll have like a VIN number or a serial number, a model number, tell you everything about that home, where it was manufactured, who manufactured it. And then on the back, it'll be transfer of ownership, just the signature. And then the only other thing that binds it would be a bill of sale.
So I'm curious. So with the title, I'm just thinking of as a car. So you don't get the title until you own your car.
If you finance it, yes.
Yes. So if you finance one of these, you won't have the title, correct?
So typically, that's funny that you say that, because we're always searching at the last minute for the certificate of origin. If it's not been, and sometimes it's misplaced because they financed it in 1970 or 80. And since then, it's been paid off. But who has the certificate of origin?
Well, I think that's important, too. So we've done a show on preparing for home sale. We've done a show on helping, with the older community, them helping their children, because one day they might have to sell their home. So a lot of the times with these manufactured homes or mobile home parks, it's not the actual owner that lived there that is selling it. A lot of the times it's the children or someone in the family or a caretaker selling it on their behalf. And a lot of the times they don't have all of the information.
Yeah.
They don't have, because it might not have been given to them. So, sometimes we are scrambling at the end.
And it's not the end of the world if you can't find it. I just had one where I had brought the buyer as the purchase, and the seller had some memory issues, and they couldn't figure out. We think that she may have gotten rid of some important papers. They can. There's a workaround for it, but I would recommend. So because of this, Sterling Associates said now what they do is they have the community. So like High Pond, Stone Meadow, they'll have them hold the certificate of origin. And I'm saying
because
those two
it doesn't
only
get
because
recorded.
I'm not sure if those communities actually do it, but like Pine Hill Estates and Rainham, they may hold onto the actual original as opposed to it going to the bank, because we know banks get bought out, things happen. So to me, that makes way more sense for the community to hold the actual certificate of origin. But I do recommend that when you have it, like take a picture of it or have somebody at least send you a copy of it so you have all that pertinent information.
Yeah. I mean, it is important. I'm surprised they don't have some sort of a organization that is dedicated to that. Like when you record your deed, it goes on the registry of deeds, but the title and all that stuff doesn't get recorded like a traditional home sale.
You can still do a homestead. I believe you can still do a homestead. You can opt to do some sort of a recording, but it's just not a deed. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that would be good if you don't have all the information if you're going to sell it. But so just to reiterate, so in Massachusetts, a mobile home is often considered personal property, like a vehicle, if it is located in a park and not permanently affixed to land that you own. It will have a title or certificate of ownership issued through the state, similar to a motor vehicle title. The sale involves signing over the title and completing a bill of sale. No deed is recorded in the county registry. For taxes, you typically pay an excise tax rather than standard property taxes, though the landowner, like the park, pays real estate taxes on the land. So that's part of your park fee.
And I've done some so there's one in East Bridgewater that is more stick built, and you have a foundation with a basement. So it's more of like the single family home, but it's 55 plus. Mm-hmm. And the difference with taxes versus non-taxes, because those fees, especially in the 55 plus communities, can be pretty hefty.
Yeah.
It kind of works itself out.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't I know that
instead of paying this, you're paying this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So real property, a mobile home can be considered real property if it is permanently affixed to land that you own and is connected to utilities in a way that can't easily be moved. Instead of a title, the home is conveyed via deed along with the land. The sale is handled much like a traditional home sale with a recorded deed at the county registry of deeds, and you pay standard real estate taxes on both the home and the land. So when you own both, it's kind of like owning a single family home. Okay, what else with these? So let's get into some. We don't have much time left, but some documents needed for buying or selling mobile homes or manufactured homes. So why don't you go over some documentation?
The process, if you fall in love with a mobile home or a manufactured home, your offer will be similar, unless stated otherwise through the community, but you'll submit an offer. You'll get accepted on that offer. You want to make sure that you put one of the, you want to make sure that it is subject to the buyer getting park approval, because our job is always to protect your deposit. So obviously if you don't get park approval for some reason, you want to make sure that you get
Talk about that process for a minute. What is park approval?
So basically they want to make sure that you are creditworthy. I know in particular some of the communities are looking for like bankruptcies or charge-offs or anything like that. So they will ask you to submit a credit report, and they'll ask for some personal references. They want to make sure that once you're in there, you're able to support that and pay that monthly fee. And
which is comforting for all of the people who already live in that community, because they know that like everyone should be able to afford all of the fees.
And too, it's, more like a safety. Listen, I've always said that these communities, they start out, they build, of course it's a business, right? But at the end of it, when all the building is done and they have their people in the community, they have a certain responsibility to make sure that they're safe. And there's everyone from young 55 to there could be somebody who's 95 and doesn't have a lot of family. So having that community and making sure that the workers that come in, the contractors, are vetted and responsible. There's a lot of things that go, and that's what I love about that. For some people, it's just it's a nice, safe place for them to be. They can be as involved as they want or not involved, but the neighbor next door may be like, oh, I haven't seen Melissa in a couple of days. Yeah. She hasn't turned her light on. Let me make sure that she's okay. So it's a great place for people to live out that, back nine. Yeah. In a nice, comfortable, it's a great place to live. And the community's responsibility of all of the residents in there, making sure that they're just, safe people.
I worry about the guy across the street from me.
Why?
Because he always has his light on, but sometimes he'll go like 1 or 2 days without putting his light on at night. And so I always say, I'm worried. And he's like, oh, relax. He's okay. And I'm like, well, how do you know that?
I know, but that's good. So that's nice that you're looking out for him and he doesn't even know it.
He doesn't even know. I'm looking out for you if you listen to the show. Yeah. Okay, back to documents. So park approval for a new buyer. And then also, I don't know what the document is called. It's similar to like a 6D when you sell a condo, right? So it's showing that you're
all
up
the
to date.
Fees are paid. Yeah. Yep. A letter of good standing, sometimes it's called. But also, so if you put an offer in, then each community is different, but they may. So a lot of them have the right of first refusal, which is super important to know. So that the community can supersede, and they have the right of first refusal. So if you're putting your house, your mobile home, manufactured home on the market, you get an offer, you have to submit that offer to the community because they have the right to purchase it first. I've never seen it happen, but it could be that, maybe they
want to
do some upgrades on it.
What about they have the right to sell it before you hire
Some
a
of
real
them
estate
do.
agent.
Yep, some of them do. Yeah, again, you have to read the bylaws and all that. I always suggest have an attorney look at it. I know that there's a couple of communities that you have to list with them first for at least 7 days or something like that. And if not, it will be an exclusive. Then you can go on to a real estate agent.
Yeah.
The ones that I've dealt with, you can bring your own agent in. It doesn't really matter.
Nice.
So subject to community approval, subject to right of first refusal, subject to community approval. Once you get that approval, you would do it's a purchase and sale, but it's a little bit modified. It has different verbiage in for the VIN number and all of those things and the different nuances that have to do with that manufactured home. And then typically if it's financing or if it's cash, same idea. We've done the closings at the home, literally at the kitchen table, and then you just transfer ownership, give the keys, and you leave.
When you sell it, you still do a smoke inspection.
Smoke inspection, yeah.
Even if you're purchasing it cash.
Yep.
And that's also to protect everybody else in the community as well.
Yeah, and you can still do, so the one that I have right now, the agent that I'm working with is wonderful. He's actually a senior residential specialist. And I keep telling him, I think our worlds collided. Like we were meant to work together because we're both very like-minded when it comes to that demographic. And, so he's wonderful. His name is Adam Hayes. He's with Milestones Realty. And he just sent me over. They just had all the mechanicals replaced, like the heating system and the water heater. And he just sent me all of the permits that were pulled. So that's another thing, too. You can make sure that all... just like you would do your due diligence with a single family home, you can do your due diligence with all the...
And you can do a home inspection on it as well.
Yep, we have a home inspection on Tuesday. And it's important, too, because it's different. That crawl space, the difference between on the slab, there's typically little, little hatches that you can open up. But I'm not going to crawl under there.
Yeah.
Now
Get
they
a home
have
inspector.
Now they have now they have the home inspectors. You can put something on like the little like a
robot.
Yeah, that's what I think would be great, right? And they can do like a little race car, like a remote control car.
Race car.
And then you can just get a look for like all the piping underneath because that's the most important part. That's where
it is.
A lot of this stuff is.
It is. We have about 10 minutes left. I want to sort of wrap up the last thoughts of this. We have 5 new listings here at Boston Connect Real Estate, one of which are yours. So I want to give you a minute to give that a little shout out and some information about that. But
let me finish this too. So purchase and sale. And then typically what will happen is you will sit down with the community before you actually sign. Yeah. And you'll go over all the rules. They'll tell you about the trash, where to get your mail. They'll go over, everything with them. And it's nice because it's kind of like a welcome. I like to be there for those. And then you'll have your closing and then you'll move in and you'll be happy.
The one that I had helped Sharon and Mary with last year, they allowed you to purchase it and then you have to schedule your meeting with them before you're allowed to move in. So you could already be closed, but you can't move in until you have that introductory process with them. And they go over all of that. So
the important thing is they're all different. Yeah. They all have their own set of rules. But Sharon and I had a back and forth through text the other day. If you have a question, just pick up the phone. Yeah. Just call them.
Just call them.
Yeah. Or have your agent call them or just call. Don't assume.
Some rules and restrictions. So we said policy, exterior maintenance and improvement restrictions. So that's, doing things outside that is visible to other people.
They like uniform. Yeah. They like everything to kind of look the same.
Parking, guest and overnight stay rules, lot rent inclusions and escalation clauses, eviction rules for non-payment or violations. we sort of talked about how to purchase a mobile home or a manufactured home. So, you choose between your park, your privately owned land, or a 55 plus community. Secure financing if you need financing. So whether it's a personal loan, a chattel loan, or you can pay cash. And then obtain park approval for making final purchase, conduct a home inspection if you choose, complete title transfer or deed recording, depending on how you're purchasing, and then register with Park HOA and set up utilities.
I think my biggest thing I would say is if you're interested in one of these communities, see if you could get a copy of their rules and regs so that you can see if it's something that would be a good fit. Yeah.
Do your research. And yes, rely heavily on your agent, but at the end of the day, your agent isn't the one who is going to be living there. So it might not weigh heavily on them for a breed restriction, but it might weigh heavily on you as a buyer. So, always look through those. Yes, it's a lot of papers, but, always look through them and see if there's anything that really jumps out at you that you love or that you don't love.
And it's not for everybody. I mean, I've only had one client who moved in who wasn't really happy, but she's young at heart, and I think she felt like, it was
too soon for her.
It was too soon for her, and I also felt like she didn't love the rules.
Yeah.
But every other, like I have my client Mary, who's over in Pine Hill where my mom is, and she loves it. She is so happy. She's loving she says it's the best thing she ever did.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about your new condo. You have a new condo in Brockton. You've done 2 open houses so far, two commuter open houses. You're doing an open house today. Give our listeners a little sneak peek about your condo.
It's 221 Oak Street in Fairway Oaks in Brockton, which if you're going to live in a condo complex in Brockton, this is where you're going to be. Everybody, it's super desirable, very well run, very well maintained. The landscaping is beautiful. Nice in-ground pool, tennis courts, community garden. Location is awesome. It abuts DW Field Golf Course, DW Field Park. It's funny, when the kids were little, we used to bring them down there and feed the ducks all the time.
Cute.
It's great. It's on for $299. It's a fantastic layout. It's middle placement, so you only have a couple of stairs, tons of guest parking. It's about 1,155 square feet, 2 beds, 2 baths. You have a nice big primary bedroom with a balcony, and then a nice updated shower stall with a nice bath. Beautiful.
Yeah, I know. The pictures are beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
It was done. So my client moved in 2022. She's relocating to New Hampshire to be with her family. It's just too much of a drive. Otherwise, she would stay there forever. Yeah. And when it came on the market, she knew that's where she wanted to be.
Oh, great.
So we have an open house today from 11 to 1. We had a Thursday open house, commuter open house, and we had so many people.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And then
last night we had 6 groups on Thursday, which I was not expecting. Christine Fisk, who actually is running the Falmouth Road Race. Is that tomorrow or today?
I don't know.
Yeah, she's in the Falmouth Road Race this weekend.
Oh,
so
awesome. Good luck, Christine.
Run fast.
Woo!
She was there Thursday with me. We ended up getting a great client for both of us.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, unrepresented, non-pre-approved buyer, very sweet. And so that was great. And then last night I had about 4 groups through.
That's awesome. Well,
so yeah, come by 221 Oak Street, unit 1824. Everyone's getting lost. So just follow Oak Street all the way up until you get to Webster Bank and take a left. You'll see the sign.
Yeah, and you'll have open house.
I'll have my open house signs.
Yeah, follow the balloons.
Follow the balloons.
Yeah. It looks like a really great condo, so good luck with that.
Yeah, super affordable, fantastic. Yeah. Everything. It's nothing negative to say. It's perfect.
Well, we do. We have a few open houses. So, Sam Horton, he has a new condo at 17 Messenger Street, Unit 2 in Plainville. That is on the market for $499,500. It's a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath condo. He is going to be there today, 11 to 1, and tomorrow, which is Sunday, 10 to 11:30. That looks like a really great condo as well. So for single-family homes, we have 7 Robinson Road in Woburn. Evis Mason is the listing agent on that one. It is a 3-bedroom, 2 full bath Cape. It is on the market for $875. She will be there today and tomorrow from 10:30 to 12. So check that out if you're looking in the Woburn area. That looks like a fantastic listing as well. 20 Acorn Lane in Pembroke. The Grady team has a new listing. Yeah, this is really cute. It's on the market for $899.9. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath colonial here in Pembroke. So 20 Acorn Lane, Pembroke. They are going to be there today and tomorrow from 11 to 1. So be sure to check that one out. 27 Wampatuck Street in Pembroke as well. If you're looking for a ranch, it's a 3-bedroom, 1 full bath. It's on for $469. That is Sam Horton's listing as well. He's a busy bee these days. He's going to be there tomorrow from 1 to 3. So after his open house in Plainville, he'll shoot over here to Pembroke. Again, it's 27 Wampatuck Street in Pembroke. So if you're looking for a 3-bedroom ranch, here's your opportunity. 599 Washington Street, Unit 1 in Pembroke. That is Sharon and Mary's listing, so the McNamara Horton Group. They are going to be there today from 1 to 3. It is a 1-bedroom, 1 full bath condo here in Pembroke. Beautiful garden level, $459. I mean, it's a great condo.
Yes.
You get that. This is one of those that you have to see in person because you walk in and you're like, okay, this is great.
Yeah.
And then, of course, every Saturday and Sunday, the McNamara Horton Group holds open houses at Cochise Estates in West Bridgewater from 10 to 12.
I'll be there tomorrow.
You'll be there tomorrow. Is Mary there today?
Mary's there today.
Mary's there today. And then every Saturday and Sunday also at Cushing Trails in Hanson.
There's only a few left over there.
Yeah, there's only I don't even know. I don't even want to say a number.
I think
2?
A few.
A few?
Yeah, I think that's
few,
it.
Maybe 2.
Yeah.
A few, maybe 2.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, so if you want to get into that community, I think there was 40 to start off with, so that one's almost done. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for a condo over in Hanson, that's a great opportunity
new construction,
for you. New construction. Yeah. We love new construction.
Yeah, I've just added my to my email that I'm a new construction specialist.
You are, because you're dealing with new construction every single week.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, and now you do an open house there on Wednesdays too.
Wednesday evenings from 4 to 6. Is that right? Yeah, 4 to 6. Yeah, I forgot. I'm like, is it 4 to 6? But yeah, I just had a great. So one of my favorite buyers she just closed a week ago Friday.
Yeah,
and she's so happy. And I say all the time, I am so addicted to the process of somebody coming into the open house and then they plan their dream home.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's hard to see. And then when it all comes together, it is the best thing to watch. It's so much
Give
fun.
your contact information if anybody wants to contact you.
khowlett@bostonconnect.com. My website is kristenhowlett.bostonconnect.com. Phone number 617-448-4896.
Perfect. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. We will be back live and in studio next Saturday at 8 a.m.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Tim.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
A beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood. A neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be